Welcome back. For this reading vlog, we are doing reading romances for a week, and that is all for Valentine's coming up this week. By the time this video goes up, it's probably going to be past Valentine's Day already, but you know, I have a couple books in mind. What we're going to be starting off with, I did start that this morning, and that is The Fall Risk by Abby Jimenez. This is just a short story that's only like an hour to an hour and a half. So I'm going to be starting with that one. Some of our other options, which this one is a definitive, I'm going to be reading this one, and that's The Do-Over by Lynnn Painter. Then we have The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros, and then our final option is going to be Powerless by Elsie Silver. All of these are ones that I've been wanting to read for a very long time and have just never gotten to, so I'm excited to finally get to these. So let's just get right on into it. I just realized I said that I was reading The Fall Risk, and I never said what the book was about. I'll read the synopsis now. It's Valentine's Day weekend, and Charlotte and Seth are not looking for romance. Armed with the emotional support bear spray, Charlotte is in self-imposed isolation and on guard from men. Having a stalker can do that to a person's nerves. Just across the hall and giving off woodsy vibes is Seth, a recently divorced arborist, as in today recently. Heights, he's fine with. Trust, not so much. But when disaster traps him one flight up and no way down, an outrageously precarious predicament forces a tree-loving guy and a rattled girl next door to embrace their captivity. Soon their defenses are breaking away. Considering how close they both are to the edge, Charlotte and Seth could be in danger of falling in love. So far, I'm 31% of the way through this. And not much has happened, but Charlotte's best friend, she was only in here for a split second, but I'm really hoping we get a short story on her because she was hilarious. Like, straight up had me out loud laughing, which I typically don't do in books. I have to give Abby Jimenez credit for this, for being a really short book. I'm already super invested and I'm already having a really fun time. Like, there's been legit multiple times that I have out loud laughed, and I can't remember the last time I've actually genuinely laughed out loud at a book. Like, I've smiled and done like a small chuckle, but this straight up had me laughing. So if you like Abby Jimenez, make sure to pick this up, because it is, so far, with being 31% of the way through, this is a super cute little short Valentine's Day story. And like I said, I'm already just really invested, so. So earlier, her friend has a baseball bat and it has a sock on the end of it. And our main guy character's friend is like, "What's up with the sock?" And so our main character just asks what the sock was about. And for some reason, I don't know if it's from listening and watching crime videos, but I thought it was something a little bit more messed up than it really was. But this just was not what I was expecting. It says if you swing a baseball bat at someone, they sometimes try to take it from you. So if you have a sock on there, the sock slides off when they grab the bat. It puts them off balance and you get a second swing. Okay, so I apologize for the lighting, but it's like 10 o'clock at night. It's 9 o'clock at night. I wanted to give my update because I did just finish The Fall Risk, and I just want to talk about it because I feel like I'm starting to get sick, so I don't know if I'm really gonna feel up for much talking tomorrow, but I am gonna give this 4 stars. It was nothing crazy, but it was cute and it was a very fun short read. It only took me like an hour and a half to read it total, so just know going into it things are gonna be quick paced. So if you don't really care for when it feels a little too insta-lovey, I wouldn't even bother picking this up. But I really enjoyed both our main characters. I liked the way that it ended. There was one quote that I wanted to read. He says, "If you ever come back here, you won't find her, you'll find me, and then no one will ever find you." I loved it. It was too cute. It is cheesy. I won't lie on that one. It is extremely cheesy, especially because our main male character is botanist. So there are a ton of tree puns in there. It is extremely cheesy, but I ate that up and I loved it, and I have no regrets on picking that book up. So if you want just like a super short palate cleanser that just makes you giggle, pick it up, because that one did have me laughing out loud a lot. I will say that. It's not very often that I find a book, especially something that short, that has me laughing that often. I need to read more Abby Jimenez books pronto, because I've only read Yours Truly and now that short story, and I've loved both of them. I need more. I need to pick up just for the summer. I think I'm gonna wait until it starts warming up a little bit more outside, because we are still in like 23-degree weather, so not really the perfect time for that. But I didn't bring it out here. I forgot it. I wanted to give the update on what I'm going to read next. I was going to go into The Do-Over by Lynnn Painter, but it is only Sunday, and I kind of want to read that one on Valentine's Day, so I might wait until the next book for that one. I think I'm adding a book to this TBR, and it's One for My Enemy by Olivie Blake. I already started this yesterday or 2 days ago, and when I started this video this morning, this just didn't click for a Valentine's Day because it's fantasy with witches, but it is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, so I mean, I'm gonna go with it. It's Valentine's enough for me. I'm gonna count it as one. So this one is you're following two witch families in Manhattan. This is modern day, and you have the Antonova sisters, and their mom is Baba Yaga, and then you have, how do you say this? Fedorov? I'm going to say Fedorov. And so they're rival witch families. The mom and then the dad have issues with each other. And then it says, after 12 years of tenuous coexistence, one family member brutally crosses the line. Bad blood reignites old grudges. At the same time, fate intervenes with a chance encounter between enemies. In the wake of love and vengeance, everyone must choose a side as each of the siblings struggles to stake their claim. Who has what it takes to stay on top? And who has what it takes to stay alive? So far, I am 12% of the way through the book, and I just got to pretty much like where things are going to start spiraling, and I'm here for it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. I am really, really liking Olivie Blake's writing. It's very easy to understand, to digest, and nothing's overcomplicated. I'm finding that it's really easy to kind of keep people in my mind correctly, where when I was first reading this, I started listening to it on audiobook. I was kind of confused because they kind of set this up like a play, and so when it was listing all the characters at the beginning, it was a little overwhelming. I was like, how am I supposed to keep track of all these people? Because they give their names, but they're also like giving them nicknames, and then it's like, and sometimes they're also called, and I was like, how the hell am I going to remember this? This doesn't work like 90% of the time, but it is a lot easier to follow than I was expecting. So I'm on page 74, and stop, this book is so cute. So we're like just getting to the part where our two main characters are like texting, and why do I love Lev so much? Why is he so cute? This is like the perfect, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the perfect portrayal of when you first start talking to someone. It's so cute. I love it. It's adorable. And we kind of just find out, we're getting like the beginning understanding of what happened between the mom of the girls and the dad of the boys. So you're kind of understanding that fallout and why there's like a family feud. So that was definitely interesting. I'm nervous to get to the rest of this book though, because like Lev is so cute and their banter is adorable. I love it. But like I don't want it to go south. I don't want to find that out. Anyway, it's been approximately 2 minutes since I talked about this book, but I just have to say again, Lev is he's texting her and he asks what she's thinking about, and she says, that's a weird question. He goes, no, it's not. Watch, ask me. And so she does, and he says, I'm thinking about how strange it is that people trust their doorman so implicitly. Like, if I really wanted to carry out a long revenge plot, I think I'd become a doorman. Obviously, I'd build up some sort of false identity beforehand, which might take a while, but if I were really serious about it, I think I could put in the time. Also, why do people ever open the door to anyone, honestly? Even without magic, modern technology makes it so you always know to expect something that's arriving, right? So if a stranger shows up, that just has to be bad news. I'm also thinking about how much I want to see you. Can I kiss you? Actually, no, don't tell me. Surprise me. Are you joking? This is the moment where I'm truly regretting not reading any of Olivie Blake's books before this. I love her writing. This is just so easy to read, and I love her characters. The way that she writes them, so good. I think this might spiral me into reading her other books that I already have. First we need Perfect. Per usual, I read slower than I thought I would. I always think that I'm going to get through these books extremely fast, and then I never do. That's fine. It's fine. Today is Valentine's Day. This is going up probably like almost a week after Valentine's Day, so happy belated Valentine's Day. But for me today, it's Valentine's Day. I thought that I'd be done with One for My Enemy by now, but I'm not. I am on page 242, which is like a little over 60 to 65% of the way through this book. I did find myself last night when I was trying to read kind of losing interest a little bit in this. And it's not necessarily that I'm not enjoying the story anymore. It's more so the fact of I didn't really have any expectations going in, but I guess I did a little bit without realizing it, because this storyline just is not what I expected. Multiple people in this story die. 2 of them were people that I didn't expect to die. And then some crazy shit happens that I fully, 100%, didn't even remotely see coming. And now I'm very curious as to where that storyline's going. And on top of it, I'm low-key confused on who in this story is Romeo and Juliet. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. Because I don't want to give away any spoilers. The people that I thought were the retelling of Romeo and Juliet, I no longer know if they are. I'm confused, but not in a bad way. It's not taking away from the story. If anything, it's kind of adding to it and making me want to keep reading this just to figure out who the hell I'm supposed to be expecting. This is the definition of expect the unexpected, because I really didn't see that going the way it did. And the character that I hate the most in this story, I just need him out of here. I need him out of here. This had me tearing up. Hasn't made me full-fledged cry yet. I'm curious as to where that will go towards the end of this book, but it definitely had me tearing up yesterday. It's unpredictable, and I'm liking that. I do find myself having to look up words kind of often because I don't know what they mean. So I saw someone else, I don't remember who it was, talking about this, and they said that it is mildly pretentious, and I do agree with that, but it's not a negative thing. It's fitting with the retelling, and that's okay. I don't mind that. But anyway, with that being said, I'm going to put that on the back burner, and I'm going to pick this up today since it is Valentine's Day. This is the book that I really wanted to read on this day specifically, because how am I not going to read the book that takes place on Valentine's Day? On Valentine's Day. That'd be just criminal. Let's get into this, and hopefully it's super cute, and I'm excited. Okay. Sorry if you can hear the music in the background. My daughter's playing one of her games, but I'm only 12 pages into this, and the front cover already makes sense. I was not expecting her to have the first real run-in with Nick before we even really get to the point of her original boyfriend cheating on her. I'm curious though. I'm curious how this is gonna go. Her dad sucks, all right? Let's just get that right out here. I genuinely feel so bad for her. Everything that's happening on this day is terrible. Okay, it is now Sunday. I was gonna do this update yesterday, but I'm sick yet again. And my whole left side of my face yesterday was completely swollen. I woke up with my eye completely stuck shut, and it was just full-fledged bloodshot. It's still mildly bloodshot, but it's way better, but it feels like I got sucker punched in the left side of my face. So I do feel better today, so I wanted to give my update. I finished this yesterday morning. I'm having a brain fart here, so bear with me. I did rate this, I think 4.25 stars. This was very cute. I don't know why, but I didn't realize going into this that this was set in high school. I knew that this was YA. I knew that it was YA. I don't know why I expected them not to be in high school, but that just didn't cross my mind. So that threw me off when I started reading this. But it ended up being super adorable, super cute. Some of the characters in this were extremely annoying. I hated both her parents. Her parents suck. Complete ass. Both of them. And then to top that off, her boyfriend, obviously going into this, I knew he was gonna suck. That one was expected. I really enjoyed Nick, their banter. They were so funny together. Their one day that like gets described the most on when they hang out for the longest period of time was so cute. He infuriated me at the end though. I didn't really care. I understand why he acted like that, but I didn't really like the way that he went about it and how long. Like, you don't have to read about it for very long, but like they give you the time frame of how long he acts like that, and I'm just like, why? Rude, unnecessary. But then like the way that he made up for it was super adorable, and I like the contrast that she gave between her ex-boyfriend, which I completely forgot his name already, but I like the contrast that they did between him and how he treats her and acts versus how Nick treats her and acts. And it's like the small things that he remembers that she said add up and make it that much cuter. But yeah, overall, this was a very adorable Valentine's Day read. It gave me everything that I wanted it to. I have no complaints. Overall, would recommend. This is one that I don't think I'll think about in the long run. It's not going to be something that is stuck in my brain every single day, but I'm still super happy that I read it, and it has definitely put me in a spiral of wanting to go read all her other books, so I plan on doing that soon. I don't know why I don't read more romances. I heavily gravitate towards fantasy books, but then every single time that I pick up a romance book, I'm like, why do I not do this more often? Because they're just so cute and easy to read, and it just makes me happy. I need to read more romance books. Let me know what your favorite romance books are. I don't care if there's spice in them. I'm good with a little bit of spice. I just want some more romance books to read. And then moving on, I'm sorry if that response to that book was not very thought out and didn't give very in-depth descriptions. I'm having a hard time up here. Hopefully once I start taking my medication and I feel better, I can go back to giving at least, it's not like my reviews were ever really that deep. Let's be honest here. I'm working on it, but it's not like they were ever that deep. But that felt like a whole lot of me just pretty much reiterating that it was a good book in different ways. Sorry. I'll do better with this one, hopefully. But yeah, we're gonna go back to reading One for My Enemy. I don't remember, how far am I in this book? I was reading on my Kindle last night. Yeah, I'm on page 270, and I'm getting to the point of two of our main characters, which I'm still confused on who. There's two different couples that could be who's supposed to be Romeo and Juliet. I'm very confused on who the retelling is on because it focuses on two of the siblings, and I don't know which one of them because they both fit. I know what's going on. It's not that the plot or anything like that is confusing. I'm just confused on who is the Romeo and Juliet. But yeah, we're gonna get back to this one. So this is my final update. Ignore the eye. I was getting better and then I woke up this morning and my eye's worse. We're gonna pretend like that doesn't exist. Anyway, I finished One for My Enemy last night at 10:30 at night. So I was too tired to do my update, so I want to do that now. Final thoughts are gonna be, I'm giving this a 4 stars. I did really enjoy it. It's not one that I feel will be something I think of super often, but that I will think of nonetheless. I really enjoyed the characters in here. And on top of that, I was confused in my last update. I was talking about how I didn't really know who was Romeo and Juliet, who was the retelling of them. And that wasn't necessarily a bad thing. I liked that it kept me guessing on what was going to happen next. I liked that I didn't know exactly how this story was going to go. It kept true to that. And all the way up until the last couple chapters, I really didn't know where this story was gonna go. There were a lot of times where I was like, I got no clue what any of these words mean, and I did have to keep looking them up, but a lot of this I read on my Kindle, so I was able to just hold it down and read it there, which made it easier, but it does hold true to that kind of pretentious reading, and it's not a bad thing because with it being a Romeo and Juliet retelling, it just feels fitting for it to be that way. I don't mean that in a negative way. It wasn't a bad thing. It didn't take away from the story. If anything, I felt like it added to the story. It felt like it was necessary. And I just absolutely loved the characters in here. I have no complaints. Like, the way that the story went, loved it. The backstory to all the characters, loved it. The dynamic between all the characters, loved it. It was so good. The only reason I'm really giving it 4 stars is because this just is not fully the typical read that I would go for. And I think because it's like really the first read like this that I've picked up, it took a bit of getting used to. I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I'm somewhere between like a 4 and a 4.5 because I did really love the story. And thinking back on it, I truly just have no complaints. It just felt like something was missing from it for me, and I just can't pinpoint that. Yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't fully pinpoint it, but just know going into this, it holds true to the Romeo and Juliet retelling. It's that dramatic, heart-wrenching, just tragic love story, but it was told in such a good way. Her writing is just so good too. It makes you feel so immersed into it. It makes it so easy to like set this down and come back and pick it up and just get right back into the story without sitting there being like, hold on, what was going on? Where were we? And just like having that kind of hard moment of getting back into the story and getting immersed. I feel like it's very easy to do that with her writing, and it definitely made me excited to go read more of her stories. I really just don't know how to describe this story other than it was beautiful. The character dynamic was so good, and even with it having the tragic ending to it, she still gives you kind of a cushioner at the end of, on the one hand, you get the sad ending, but on the other hand, you also get a very beautiful and happy ending at the same time. So I liked it. And also, having this written with witches, the way that she wrote it and the way that everything pans out with them, it's just not what I expected. And I really thought when I started reading this, I was like, am I actually gonna like this? I feel like I might not, but it was a pleasant surprise. Do I think this is gonna be for everybody? Absolutely not. If you like more of like that dark, almost like a dark academia feel with the fantasy aspect, but having an urban setting and having that complicated family dynamic, forbidden love, just poetic feel and atmosphere, I think that you'll really like this. I do think that I will come back and think about these characters every once in a while. Mainly Lev and Sasha. I just really loved their characters so much. I feel like they made a lot of this book because without them, like Lev has that sarcastic, kind of funny, witty humor behind everything he says, and Sasha has that very headstrong, don't mess with me type of thing. And so the way that they go back and forth kind of made this have a little bit more of like a lighthearted feel to it on the flip side of all the like very serious, dramatic, argumentative side that the other characters had. So you definitely got like a nice balance between them, and I feel like that helped the story a lot and is kind of what made me push through to finishing it. So overall, 4 stars, somewhere around there, 4.25 stars. Something that if you typically like these kind of books, I think you'll love this story. If you liked Romeo and Juliet, I think that you'd like this story also. I have no complaints with it. I'm very happy with it. I do wish that I would have had a little bit more time to get through more books. I was kind of hoping to get to 3 books, but that did not happen. Every time I sit down to do one of these vlogs, I'm like, I'm gonna get through like 3 books, and then I am humbled of how much more I think that I can read than I actually do. I'm a very optimistic person when it comes to these videos, and then I get halfway through and I'm like, wow, this is really taking me a long time. I'm not as fast of a reader as I think I am. I'm kind of painfully slow half the time. Anyway, I wish I could have put more energy into this. I'm very sad that within 3 days of starting this video, I got sick. I feel like I've been sick so much this year and I'm over it, but if you powered through to the end, just know I wholeheartedly appreciate you. You are the best person in this world and I love you. If not, I completely understand because I feel like I was able to give half of my energy that I wanted to give in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate you. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date with all my future videos, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!